Good afternoon. I'm Sharon Vollman, Editorial Director of OSP, and I am here today with our closing keynote presenter, Eugene Agee, who is Vice President, Procurement and Real Estate at Sprint. Thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
I appreciate it. I'm going to ask a few questions. Some relate to network evolution, some relate to what Sprint is doing. So let's kick it off with what Sprint is handling with this $16 billion multi-year network upgrade. You mentioned in the spring that that's what was going on, and I can imagine a lot has happened since then. So how is it going? What's the greatest challenge to it, and why is it so important to you?
So actually, it's actually going very well right now. So we fully deployed the 1.9. We expect to have that completed by the end of the year. With the acquisition of Clearwire, we're now starting the deployment of 2.5. And with the reharvesting of the 800 spectrum from Nextel, we're starting to redeploy onto our towers the antennas required for the delivery of 800 megahertz service. It has been difficult. There have been challenges along the way. We disrupted our network, which greatly impacted our customer service. We're now focused on a market-by-market optimization of our network to ensure that we deliver the best possible service to our customers. So it's going well. We're not done yet. As we said to our customers, please pardon our dust as we work through all the challenges of getting our network to its optimum level. But overall, it's going very well.
And that includes how many cell sites?
Well, it started at 33,000. With the acquisition of Clearwire, we picked up another, I think, 18,000 cell sites. As we go through this deployment, we will start to cull down and reduce the number of overall cell sites, macro cell sites that we have in service. But even that takes time. We still have the WiMAX network going, which was part of our Clearwire acquisition. At some point, we'll have to start to turn that down and then reduce the overall number of macro cell sites that we have.
That's impressive. And then there's another initiative that we talked about briefly in our interview, the SMART project with CCA and the Net America Alliance. Since we last talked, has there been any surprises or any new happenings in that project?
Well, today we've signed 27 agreements with CCA carriers that can enable 4G LTE coverage to more than 30 million people in 27 different states.
Wow.
So it's actually going very well. This whole idea around roaming, particularly in the world of wireless, is going to become more and more intense simply because of the ubiquity that we see in wireless networks today. I think the transformation for Sprint and Verizon, which have traditionally used CDMA, which is not the worldwide standard. GSM was the worldwide standard. But the movement to LTE across the world brings us to a common wireless protocol that will, again, put ubiquity, the same ubiquity we experience over the PSTN or the public switch telephone network. So we think that the opportunities for roaming are becoming more intense as we move to a common platform called LTE. And getting affordable roaming is going to become a key initiative across the world, and ensuring that we can roam on other people's networks at a reasonable and affordable cost.
Right. Thank you so much. Now we're going to talk people. So with all of these changes going on, it's incredibly important for professionals such as ourselves and techs in the field and engineers in the offices to stay relevant. So talk about that, and how do you stay relevant in your area of expertise, and how do you feel OSP EXPO helps people stay relevant?
Well, so I mean, I think, one thing I can say about telecom is it is ever evolving. We've gone from a startup wireless industry to 1G to 2G to 3G, constant upgrades within wireless to meet the growing demand for how people want to use and utilize wireless services. And in order to stay relevant in that, you have to constantly be reading and staying up on what's going on in the world of technology. With the advent of wireless data, and much as it was shown in the video, we are seeing greater opportunities for wireless to impact everything that we do. I was sharing with someone, and just as Sprint has an initiative relating to connected vehicles, as does Verizon and AT&T as well. But I mean, we are just a few years away from cars driving us instead of us driving them.
Incredible.
This advent of technology continues to foster in a way that you have to stay relevant. You have to stay educated about the changes that are going on within this industry. And I think Outside Plant Expo provides an excellent opportunity through your convention itself, but also through the workshops that you provide. So
Thank you.
one of the things that I do, I've been reading your magazine for 20 some years. So it
very
is,
kind.
well, I have. So it's one of the ways that I stay relevant. I think your articles are interesting and informative and present views from various people across the industry, from the large carriers, from our small rural carriers. It gives a 360-degree view of what's going on in our industry.
Well, thank you very, very much. Speaking of the magazine, we're rounding the corner toward the end of 2014, and in 2015, the January issue, we have our predictions issue.
Okay.
So I am hoping you would share an audio video prediction for what you think is going to occur related to network evolution in 2015.
Well, I don't know that I could speak. I'm not an engineer, so I don't think I can speak directly to what's going to happen from a network standpoint. But one of the things I do know is that the world of telecom is a very capital-intensive industry. It takes huge amounts of investment to enable this telecommunications infrastructure to be in place. One of the things that I foresee is a convergence. Traditionally, wireless telecommunications capabilities around the world have been guarded within the countries in which they exist. So there is not the level of competition in all countries as relates to telecom that as we see here in the US. I see more convergence, I see more acquisitions, I see an oligopoly of players, whether it happens to be wireless, cable, wireline, because again, all of these things combined are what make this industry function, and the ability to consolidate and leverage that capital investment in ways that make sense and provide value to our customers will lead us to consolidation.
Very, very good point. Thank you so much. Well, again, I appreciate your being our keynote presenter. Everyone can read the interview we did with you this summer. And from OSP TV, I'm here with Eugene Agee from Sprint. We thank you for joining us. Have a great afternoon.
And thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.